प्रयागराज में 2025 के महाकुंभ के दौरान लगभग 66 करोड़ से अधिक श्रद्धालु तथा माघ मेला 2026 में 21 करोड़ से अधिक श्रद्धालुओं द्वारा स्नान किए जाने का अनुमान है। भारतीय संस्कृति और इतिहास के महापुरुषों जैसे गुरु तेग बहादुर साहब, अहिल्याबाई होलकर, धरती आबा बिरसा मुंडा एवं लोक पुरुष सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल की स्मृति में प्रदेश भर में विभिन्न कार्यक्रम आयोजित किए गए। प्रदेशवासियों ने श्री गुरु तेग बहादुर साहिब का 350वां पावन शहीदी दिवस श्रद्धापूर्वक मनाया। भगवान बिरसा मुंडा के 150 जयंती वर्ष उन्हें नमन किया। लोक पुरुष सरदार पटेल की 150वीं जयंती पर संपन्न कार्यक्रमों ने एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत के संकल्प को सुदृढ़ किया। अहिल्याबाई होलकर की प्रतिमा वाराणसी काशी विश्वनाथ मंदिर परिसर में स्थापित की गई। उड़ैया मेडिकल कॉलेज का नाम शुरू अहिल्याबाई होलकर मेडिकल कॉलेज किया गया। भारत रत्न श्रद्धेय अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी के जन्म शताब्दी वर्ष के उपलक्ष्य में माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी द्वारा लखनऊ में राष्ट्रीय प्रेरणा स्थल का लोकार्पण किया गया। राष्ट्रीय प्रेरणा स्थल राष्ट्र निर्माण के लिए समर्पित होने का संदेश देता है। स्थापित डॉक्टर श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी, पंडित दीनदयाल उपाध्याय और पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री श्रद्धेय अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी की प्रतिमाएं हमें नई ऊर्जा प्रदान करती है। मेरी सरकार की प्राथमिकताओं और मुख्य कार्यों का बार ब्यौरा निम्नवत प्रस्तुत है। प्रदेश में कानून व्यवस्था की स्थिति को और बेहतर बनाने के लिए जीरो टॉलरेंस की नीति जारी है। नवंबर 2019 से अब तक माफियाओं के विरुद्ध माननीय न्यायालय में विचाराधीन मुकदमों की प्रभावी पैरवी कर 35 माफिया व 94 अपराधियों कुल 129 को अलग अलग अभियोगों से आजीवन कारावास अथवा अन्य अवधि के कारावास व अर्थदंड से दंडित कराया गया। दो को मृत्यु दंड की सजा हुई है तथा वर्ष 2070 से अब तक कुल 267 अपराधी मुठभेड़ में मारे गए अथवा 977 अभियुक्तों को राशि के अंतर्गत निरुद्ध किया गया। साथ ही माफिया अपराधियों से रुपया 4137 करोड़ रुपए से अधिक की अवैध रूप से अर्जित संपत्ति जल्द की जा चुकी।
अच्छा सुनो, अगर मैं मर गई तो तुम क्या करोगे?
तू मर गई ना तो मैं भी मर जाऊंगा।
So sweet. इतनी खुशी मैं कहां से पाऊंगा?
बिस्क फार्म गुगली, इसके टेस्ट में है ट्विस्ट।
30,000 करोड़ हो गई। प्रदेश में संचालित चीनी मिलों द्वारा 956 लाख 9,000 टन गन्ने की पेराई कर 92,45,000 टन चीनी का उत्पादन किया गया। ये प्राइस मुंडेरवा एवं रमाला में नई चीनी मिलें स्थापित की गई तथा 44 से अधिक चीनी मिलों का आधुनिकीकरण किया गया, जिससे अब तक कुल 1,25,000 पीसीडी की अतिरिक्त पेराई क्षमता तथा 10 लाख से अधिक रोजगार का सृजन हुआ। रुपया 62 करोड़ 26 लाख की लागत से 10 मंडी उपमंडी स्थलों में से 9 जनपदों में मंडी स्थलों के निर्माण कार्य पूर्ण हो चुका है। एक मंडी स्थान निर्माणाधीन है और रुपया 100 करोड़ 31 लाख की लागत से किसान एग्री मॉल का निर्माण प्रगति पर है। प्रधानमंत्री मत्स्य संपदा योजना अंतर्गत जनपद चंदौली तथा जनपद सिद्धार्थनगर की मंडी का निर्माण कार्य प्रगति पर है। वर्तमान में प्रदेश में 89 कृषि विज्ञान केंद्र संचालित है। कृषि विश्वविद्यालय अयोध्या में रुपया 3 करोड़ 58 लाख से एग्री टूरिज्म सेंटर की स्थापना की जा चुकी है। मेरी सरकार द्वारा जनपद कुशीनगर में महात्मा बुद्ध कृषि एवं प्रौद्योगिकी विश्वविद्यालय की स्थापना का निर्णय लिया गया है। उक्त विश्वविद्यालय हेतु कुल 481 एकड़ भूमि निःशुल्क कृषि शिक्षा एवं अनुसंधान विभाग के हस्तांतरण की गई है। जाएगा बंकर। उत्तर प्रदेश खाद्य संस्करण उद्योग नीति 2023 पोर्टल पर 19 जनवरी 2024 तक 1500 आवेदन प्राप्त हुए तथा 50 साइट पूंजी निवेश प्रस्ताव के सापेक्ष रुपया 223 करोड़ 80 लाख से 80,000 से अधिक प्रत्यक्ष और परोक्ष रोजगार सृजन किया जा रहा है। साथ ही प्रधानमंत्री सूक्ष्म खाद्य उद्योग उन्नयन योजना के अंतर्गत वित्तीय वर्ष 2025-26 में रुपया 258 करोड़ अनुदान वितरित किया जा चुका है। मुख्यमंत्री प्रगतिशील पशुपालक प्रोत्साहन योजना के अंतर्गत 7,381 पुरस्कारों का वितरण किया गया। प्रारंभिक दुग्ध सहकारी समितियों के गठन योजना के अंतर्गत 3,201 समितियों के गठन के लक्ष्य के सापेक्ष 100% दुग्ध समितियों का गठन कर लिया गया। दुग्ध उत्पादन में प्रगति करते हुए कुल 54 परियोजनाओं के माध्यम से लगभग 550 करोड़ का निवेश प्राप्त हुआ है, जिससे लगभग 39 लाख लीटर दुग्ध प्रतिदिन की दर से दुग्ध प्रसंस्करण क्षमता में वृद्धि हुई। इस नीति के अंतर्गत संबंधित निवेशकों को रुपया 12 करोड़ 74 लाख का वित्तीय अनुदान उपलब्ध कराया गया है। प्रदेश के 57 जनपदों में रेशम उत्पादन का कार्य संचालित हो रहा है, जिससे महिलाओं और युवाओं को ग्रामीण परिवेश में ही स्वरोजगार के असीम अवसर उपलब्ध हो रहे हैं। जनपद मिर्जापुर में लोकप्रिय सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल राजकीय रेशम प्रशिक्षण संस्थान में निःशुल्क प्रशिक्षण उपलब्ध कराया गया तथा केंद्रीय रेशम बोर्ड के सहयोग से जनपद बांदा में रीजनल सेरिकल्चर रिसर्च सेंटर की स्थापना की गई है। भारत सरकार की वन नेशन वन राशन कार्ड योजना के अंतर्गत उत्तर प्रदेश के 1 करोड़ 12 लाख से अधिक कार्ड धारकों द्वारा अन्य राज्यों से तथा अन्य राज्यों के 1,88,000 से अधिक राशन कार्ड धारकों द्वारा उत्तर प्रदेश से अपना कार्ड प्राप्त किया। राष्ट्रीय खाद्य सुरक्षा अधिनियम 2013 के अंतर्गत 3 करोड़ 56 लाख राशन कार्ड धारकों को लगभग 8 लाख मैट्रिक टन खाद्यान्न का निःशुल्क वितरण प्रति माह नियमित रूप से किया जा रहा है। बेसिक शिक्षा के चतुर्मुखी विकास हेतु ऑपरेशन कायाकल्प के अंतर्गत विद्यालय में वर्ष 17-18 में संतृप्तिकरण का प्रतिशत 36 से बढ़कर 25-26 में 96% हो चुका है। प्रदेश के सभी 75 जनपदों में 2 विद्यालयों को मुख्यमंत्री मॉडल कंपोजिट विद्यालयों एवं एक विद्यालय को मुख्यमंत्री अभ्युदय विद्यालय के रूप में विकसित किया जा रहा है। वर्ष 2022-23 में परिषदीय प्राथमिक उच्च माध्यमिक एवं कस्तूरबा गांधी बालिका विद्यालयों में शिक्षकों के उपयोग 2,61,000 से अधिक टैबलेट्स वितरित किए जा चुके हैं। वर्ष 2025-26 में दुर्बल वर्ग के बच्चों की निजी विद्यालयों में निःशुल्क शिक्षा की व्यवस्था के अंतर्गत 1,40,000 से अधिक बच्चों का प्रवेश कराया गया। प्रोजेक्ट अलंकार योजना के अंतर्गत विद्यालयों के जर्जर भवन का
Looking for attractive savings options? LIC presents Nav Jeevan Shri Single Premium Plan. Deposit lump sum premium amount. Enjoy life insurance cover. Get guaranteed fixed amount on maturity. Liquidity options also available. Buy now. Attractive rebates for existing policy holders. Terms and conditions apply.
25-26 में केंद्र सरकार द्वारा वित्त पोषित पीएम कुशल विद्यालय के अंतर्गत प्रदेश के 157 राजकीय माध्यमिक विद्यालय चयनित किए गए। जनपद गोरखपुर में पूर्वांचल के प्रथम एवं प्रदेश के द्वितीय सैनिक स्कूल की स्थापना एवं संचालन आरंभ किया गया। मिशन रोजगार के अंतर्गत राजकीय विद्यालय में 6,800 सहायक अध्यापक, 1,939 प्रवक्ता एवं 219 प्रधान आचार्य को सम्मिलित करते हुए अब तक कुल 8,966 पदों पर नियुक्ति की प्रक्रिया पूर्ण की जा चुकी है। तकनीकी शिक्षा हेतु 778 ICT लैब एवं 108 विद्यालयों में अटल टिकरिंग लैब स्थापित एवं प्रयासरत 1236 राजकीय माध्यमिक विद्यालयों में स्मार्ट क्लास 2070 के पश्चात प्रदेश में 6 नए राज्य विश्वविद्यालय स्थापित किए गए, जिन्हें सम्मिलित करते हुए वर्तमान में प्रदेश में कुल 38 राज्य विश्वविद्यालय, 1 डीम्ड विश्वविद्यालय, 1 मुक्त विश्वविद्यालय, 52 निजी विश्वविद्यालय संचालित है। साथ ही प्रदेश में 71 नए राजकीय महाविद्यालय की स्थापना की गई है, जिसके पश्चात वर्तमान में 217 राजकीय महाविद्यालय संचालित है। उपरोक्त के अतिरिक्त इस वर्ष प्रदेश में काशी नरेश विश्वविद्यालय भदोही तथा स्वामी सुखदेवानंद विश्वविद्यालय शाहजहांपुर में 2 नए राज्य विश्वविद्यालय स्वीकृत किए गए हैं। सत्र 25-26 से समस्त विश्वविद्यालय में छात्र छात्राओं का प्रवेश एवं शिक्षकों की पदोन्नति का कार्य समर्थ पोर्टल के माध्यम से संचालित है। उच्च शिक्षा की गुणवत्ता में सुधार के लिए राज्य गुणवत्ता आश्वासन सेल की स्थापना वर्तमान में प्रदेश के 18 विश्वविद्यालय नेक में उत्कृष्ट श्रेणी प्राप्त है। नेक 1+ पर श्रेणी की विश्वविद्यालय की संख्या 2070 में 0 से बढ़कर 2025 में 9 हो चुकी है। 4 विश्वविद्यालय नेक 1+ श्रेणी में एवं 5 विश्वविद्यालय 1 श्रेणी की रैंकिंग प्राप्त है। केवल 1 वर्ष में नेक स्थापित संस्थानों की संख्या 95 बढ़कर 161 हो चुकी है। यूएस एशिया रैंकिंग में सम्मिलित विश्वविद्यालय की संख्या भी 0 से बढ़कर 7 हो चुकी है। लखनऊ विश्वविद्यालय लखनऊ एवं छत्रपति शाहू महाराज विश्वविद्यालय कानपुर को यूएस वर्ल्ड रैंकिंग में सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स रैंकिंग प्राप्त हुई। प्रदेश के आचार्य नरेंद्र कृषि एवं प्रौद्योगिकी विश्वविद्यालय कुमारगंज अयोध्या को नेक की सर्वोच्च ग्रेड A++ प्राप्त है तथा सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल कृषि विश्वविद्यालय मेरठ व बांदा कृषि विश्वविद्यालय बांदा को नेक की A ग्रेडिंग प्राप्त है। NIRF 2025 के परिणामों में अखिल भारतीय विश्वविद्यालय रैंकिंग की श्रेणी में मदन मोहन मालवीय प्रौद्योगिकी विश्वविद्यालय गोरखपुर को 68वां स्थान तथा लखनऊ विश्वविद्यालय लखनऊ को 98वां स्थान प्राप्त हुआ है। राज्य विश्वविद्यालय की श्रेणी में मदन मोहन मालवीय विश्वविद्यालय गोरखपुर को 23वां तथा लखनऊ विश्वविद्यालय लखनऊ को 27वां स्थान प्राप्त हुआ। NRI 2025 के परिणामों की वृद्धि की श्रेणी में लखनऊ विश्वविद्यालय को 29वां स्थान, प्राविधिक श्रेणी में मदन मोहन मालवीय विश्वविद्यालय को 60वां स्थान प्राप्त हुआ। फार्मेसी की श्रेणी में बुंदेलखंड विश्वविद्यालय 82 को 68वां स्थान, प्रबंधन श्रेणी में MMT को 83वां स्थान, आर्किटेक्चर श्रेणी में लखनऊ को 39वां स्थान प्राप्त एवं मुक्त विश्वविद्यालय की श्रेणी में राजश्री टंडन मुक्त विश्वविद्यालय प्रयागराज को 30वां स्थान प्राप्त हुआ। प्रदेश के 6 राज्य विश्वविद्यालयों को UGC की कैटेगरी 1 दर्जा प्राप्त हुआ। NRI की 11 कैटेगरी में प्रदेश के 14 राज्य विश्वविद्यालय 1 से ज्यादा कैटेगरी में शामिल। मदन मोहन मालवीय प्राविधिक विश्वविद्यालय गोरखपुर को 2025 में पहली बार NRI रैंकिंग में 4 श्रेणी प्राप्त हुआ और शीर्ष 100 स्थान में अपनी उपस्थिति दर्ज कराई। प्रदेश में डिप्लोमा स्तरीय 195 संस्थाओं में प्रशिक्षण प्रदान किया जा रहा है। साथ ही प्रदेश के 121 राजकीय पॉलिटेक्निक संस्थाओं में एक्सीलेंस सेंटर की स्थापना कराई जा चुकी है। इसके अतिरिक्त इन संस्थानों में 2 से कम स्मार्ट क्लास रूम की स्थापना की जा चुकी है तथा 89 में लैंग्वेज लैब की स्थापना की जा चुकी है। आपके समय में जीरो का 5-7 साल के बोली प्रदेश का सकल घरेलू उत्पादन अनुमानित प्रारंभिक गणना के अनुसार लगभग रुपया 36 लाख करोड़ तथा गत वर्ष की तुलना में प्रदेश के सफल राज्य घरेलू उत्पाद में प्रचलित भावों पर 12.7% की वार्षिक वृद्धि परिलक्षित है। प्रदेश के युवाओं को सरकार के साथ नीति प्रबंधन अनुसरण के कार्यों में सहभागिता का विशिष्ट अवसर प्रदान करने के उद्देश्य से प्रदेश सरकार द्वारा मुख्यमंत्री फेलोशिप योजना संचालित है। स्वामी विवेकानंद युवा सशक्तिकरण योजना के अंतर्गत 2 करोड़ टैबलेट स्मार्टफोन 5 वर्षों में निःशुल्क वितरण किए जाने का संकल्प लिया गया तथा 49,86,000 टैबलेट स्मार्टफोन अब तक वितरित किए जा चुके। प्रदेश में 7 एक्सप्रेस वे वर्तमान में संचालित है। इसके अलावा 594 किलोमीटर लंबा गंगा एक्सप्रेस वे, कई लिंक एक्सप्रेस वे निर्माण का कार्य प्रगति पर। प्रदेश में एक्सप्रेस वे के सन्निकट 26 जनपदों में 27 स्थानों पर औद्योगिक केंद्रों के विकास हेतु लगभग 6,300 हेक्टेयर भूमि का चिन्हांकन किया गया है, जिस हेतु संबंधित जनपदों को रुपया 8,632 करोड़ से अधिक की धनराशि अवमुक्त की जा चुकी है। ईस्टर्न डेडिकेटेड ट्रेड कॉरिडोर प्रदेश के कई महत्वपूर्ण जनपदों से होकर गुजरता है, जिसकी एक लॉजिस्टिक हब के इस कॉरिडोर से उत्तर प्रदेश के पारंपरिक उद्योगों को माल भेजने में सुगमता के साथ समय की बचत होगी। हल्दिया में वाराणसी तक वाटरवे संचालित है, जिसे अयोध्या तक बनवाने का कार्य प्रगति है। लगभग 47 लाख MSME इकाइयों की संख्या तथा 3 करोड़ 11 लाख लोगों को रोजगार कराया गया। भारत सरकार द्वारा निर्मित ई श्रम पोर्टल पर वर्तमान में 8 करोड़ 40 लाख कामगारों का पंजीयन हुआ है। ई श्रम पोर्टल पर पंजीकृत श्रमिकों में से माह दिसंबर तक 7,01,484 श्रमिकों को प्रधानमंत्री श्रम योगी मानधन पेंशन योजना में आच्छादित किया गया और इस मामले में उत्तर प्रदेश देश में दूसरे स्थान पर है। व्यापारी दुर्घटना बीमा योजना के अंतर्गत एवं 2020 से अब तक इस योजना के अंतर्गत 1,391 व्यापारियों को लाभान्वित किया गया है। प्रदेश की प्रति व्यक्ति आय को वर्ष 2016-17 में 24,500 रुपया थी, वर्ष 2024-25 में बढ़कर 1,09,844 तथा वित्तीय वर्ष 2025 1,20,000 रुपये वित्तीय अनुशासन को बनाए रखने के लिए वित्तीय नीतियों के आधार पर आज उत्तर प्रदेश रेवेन्यू सरप्लस राज्य बन चुका है। अयोध्या, प्रयागराज तथा गौतम बुद्ध नगर, नोएडा में विशिष्ट अतिथि गृह निर्माण हेतु वित्तीय स्वीकृति निर्मित की जा चुकी है। मेरी सरकार के सुनियोजित प्रयासों व कार्यान्वयन से उत्तर प्रदेश देश में विभिन्न योजनाओं में द्वितीय स्थान पर है। भारत सरकार द्वारा निर्मित ई श्रम पोर्टल पर वर्तमान में 8 करोड़ 40 लाख कामगारों का पंजीयन है। ई श्रम पोर्टल पर पंजीकृत श्रमिकों में माह दिसंबर तक 7,01,484 श्रमिकों को प्रधानमंत्री श्रम योगी मानधन पेंशन योजना में आच्छादित किया गया है और इस मामले में उत्तर प्रदेश में दूसरे स्थान पर है। भारत सरकार महत्वाकांक्षी जनपद कार्यक्रम पूरे देश में 112 जनपदों में संचालित है, जिसमें प्रदेश के 8 जनपद सम्मिलित समग्र रूप से इस कार्यक्रम में देश के प्रथम 10 जनपदों की रैंकिंग की गई थी, जिसमें उत्तर प्रदेश के जनपद बलरामपुर प्रथम तथा सिद्धार्थनगर द्वितीय स्थान पर आया।
Every sale season feels like chaos for personalized sellers. Hours spent preparing print files again and again, but now it only takes seconds with Persify. AI automatically fills names into your personalized design, and you can customize text color, fonts, clip art, and more. With just one click, you'll have a ready-to-print file. Your account stays protected through the Chrome extension. Manage all your Etsy stores in one dashboard, with more platforms coming soon. Persify, personalize smarter, scale faster.
मैसेज डियर इन्वेस्टर, एक एक्सपर्ट स्टॉक टिप खास आपके लिए। ये ऐप डाउनलोड करो और पैसे डबल करो।
एक्सपर्ट जी, बदमाश का बाप हूँ मैं। ऐप डाउनलोड करने से पहले मैं आपका पूरा रिपोर्ट कार्ड निकालूंगा। मैं मूर्ख नहीं हूँ।
डिस्टेंस यूपीआई कहता है, अगर कोई ऐसी सलाह दे तो पहले एडवाइजर की पूरी जांच कर ले और कहे मैं मूर्ख नहीं।
जाइए, आप भी किसी का टेस्ट लीजिए।
But Mata, Pita, Guru is Daiva. So when we were working for foreign companies, they were our guests, but we treat them as God and we do everything. But when we do for our own country, our mother India, it's much more sweeter. So yesterday on the Republic Day, our sock went for the tape out. And thank you, sir. Without your support, without all these initiatives, we would not have been here. And most important aspect I want to say is like, okay, when we do for our country, we don't do it just a replacement. We do the world's first. And ours is the world's first networking sock that is based on RISC-V. You can Google it and you can search it, but we have taken the leap around and we have made it together. And thanks to my extended team, DLI, Mighty, ISM, everybody was supporting, and EDA, everybody was supporting to make it happen, and we have achieved it. We should be having the chips in our hands in another 4 months. So what is the market we are looking at? We are looking at close to 100 million units. And because every home, the internet that you use comes in a white box, which gives a fiber and then a Wi-Fi. You connect all your mobile, laptops, smart TVs, everything for this. And it is going to collect villages. Already government has done BharatNet, given the fiber connectivity to every villages. Now with our SOC and with our solution, every home will have access to broadband internet. We are already empaneled with BSNL and we have already signed up with several large telecom operators who are rolling out this today, where they don't have any other opportunity except to use whatever is available in the market today, which will be replaced. And thanks to the semiconductor mission, it really helped. Sir, I have one request which I would like to place. So this is our Vidhan SOC. This is our IP. 40% of the IP is indigenously developed, and this is with CDAC Vega core. We have thoroughly tested it, and it's production ready, fantastic IP, and we are able to achieve whatever goals we kept with it. 100% production ready. 60% of the IPs are standard IPs, sir. So my request in DLI 2.0, if there is a way we can have an industry academia collaboration where some of the standard IPs like USB 3.0, PCIe, SPI, eMMC, if we can have it jointly built together in India, then all the DLI companies and all the semicon startup companies, they can reuse the same IP than each of us licensing the same thing. Right now we are buying from various vendors, sir. How many vendors would be there? Sir, USB, what we have found is, sir, at least 4 or 5 vendors are there. But typically, what we have seen is like when the fab house is giving the licenser, they are giving at a very discounted cost. But if you are going to buy from an IP vendor, the cost itself is highly prohibitive. What is the type of effort will be required? how much effort will be required how much effort will be required, time and effort will be required for indigenously developing these IPs, standard IPs?
When we started, right, we did talk about the USB IP. We do have a multi-protocol NRG SerDes, which is kind of backbone for this one in TSMC 28 nanometer. Certainly say like this kind of effort, right, where all the indigenous IPs what startups they have designed, if it can be taken to the production, brought to the DLI repository.
No, let's say all these standard IPs. Suppose we make a mission in our DLI 2.0 and take a call that let's say we'll develop all these, and after that we'll mandate their use in all the chips that we use in India.
Actually, we have the talent to build those IPs. It's not about building the IPs, but silicon proving those IPs. I think that's what he was mentioning.
Silicon proving will take some time, but we can always work on it.
And the standard keeps evolving, so there is a maintenance mode, like an ANC mode of those IPs, critical IPs. Everybody will need PCI, like he was mentioning, USB, Ethernet, some SerDes, whatever form of SerDes they need. So, but keeping them upgraded or updated is the bigger challenge.
Can a team from these smart brains, a small team of 3 or 4 persons, can you collect?
Yeah. Certainly. So, I think I can give the answer directly. If we put this thing sincere effort, right, in about 24 months to 27 months, we can have a silicon proven.
Let's take a target of 24 months then.
रेणुका ने होस्टिंगर के साथ अपने पैशन को एक सफल बिजनेस में बदला। अब आपकी बारी है अपना आइडिया ऑनलाइन लेकर जाने की। होस्टिंगर एआई के साथ मिनटों में अपनी वेबसाइट बनाएं और लॉन्च करें और एक ही जगह पर अपना स्केल बढ़ाने के लिए आवश्यक सभी साधन पाएं। डोमेन और होस्टिंग से लेकर ईमेल और 24 घंटे 7 दिन सपोर्ट तक।
वेबसाइट बनाना किसी मैच की तैयारी जैसा आसान था।
वेबसाइट बनाएं, पोर्टफोलियो पब्लिश करें, स्टोर लॉन्च करें, बेझिझक इसे ट्राई करें। होस्टिंगर पर जाएं और एक दिन को पहले दिन में बदलें।
शेरू, शेरू, यहाँ इधर आओ बच्चा।
रुको अभी आया।
शाबाश शेरू, आओ बैठो। चलो घर चलते हैं। अरे ये कहाँ जा रहे हो? शेरू, शेरू क्या हो गया तुम्हें? क्या कर रहे हो तुम? शेरू कहाँ जा रहे हो? वापस आओ, बैक डॉगी।
हाँ, तो हम कहाँ थे?
नटखट कहीं के।
Red Bull gives you wings.
When you come to USB 3 PCI Express and those kind of IPs demand good, extremely high-speed analog designs. And what I have found is in India, the capabilities are minimal. And also for silicon proving the analog IPs, each of the processors, for example, we are targeting 12 nanometer. We purchased the 12 nanometer SerDes IP, both for PCI Express and USB 3. There can be a team building IPs, but proving it on each of these targeted technologies is time consuming, and there are multiple technologies. For example, UMC has their own technology. TSMC has some 3-4 multiple nodes. Proving it for each one of them is extremely difficult, right? You might be able to
tell me, this is a journey that we started 3 years ago, just about 4 years ago, right? January 22. Within 4 years, we are at a very significantly good level of achievement. And this is a level where we can now take off. If we put together a larger team, and if needed, we can have some collaborations also. In Davos, this point came about analog, exactly the way you have said. This point came about analog IPs are going to be very, very important going forward, because when you go to the real world applications, there, and especially in the strategic sectors, the analog IPs are going to be very important. Suppose we make a request to all of you and we support it fully. Whatever support is needed, we provide that support. Maybe in a period of 36 months, we can have a suite of analog IPs coming out of our country.
It is definitely possible. I think I know that there are skills available in the country. Only thing is we need the collaborative effort.
Sir, and we can also, there are so many good people out there in
Practically every large semiconductor company has either CTO or chief designer as people from our fraternity, people of Indian origin. They'll be very willing to support us.
Sir, if I may add one more statement, sir. So, in Nagisa, the person who is heading the ASIC and the team who is working on it, earlier they were the co-founders of a company called Talika, and they built the USB and the PCIe IP, which was later on spinned off and got it sold to SMSC, and which was later on spinned off and sold it to Microchip. So if you look at any laptop or any desktop where they are using a USB or a PCIe, actually it was built by this kind of team. So if MIT and DLI and ministry can set up, we'll be more than happy to bring in the right kind of people who have already worked on it. As a group, we can make it for the country. So thank you very much. With this, I conclude my speech. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Sridharanji. I invite now morphing machines, Ranjini ma'am, to kindly come and present the activities that they have been doing. So they are working on a multi-core accelerators, and they are in advanced stage of proving their designs now. And please.
This is Mindrose presentation. Should I?
I skip my group. I call my group.
Thank you everybody for giving us this opportunity to make this presentation and show and summarize our progress with DLI as background. But morphing machines itself has a little bit of bigger background, in the sense morphing machines was born as an incubator at the Indian Institute of Science, and Professor Nandi, who is in the audience here, was the original founder of morphing machines. I very soon joined him to run this company, right from naming the company as morphing machines. That is, we wanted to, it was our dream, I would say. I won't even call it vision, it was a dream to say, can machines morph themselves at runtime automatically, looking at the application needs. That's why the name morphing machines. And then we started with clean slate, completely indigenous, right from concept. Very, very fortunate to have PhD students and master students of IISc who primarily work with Professor Nandi to get the concept. Okay, it has to be a many core processor. What's the kind of core? How can it reconfigure itself? Because once we produce in silicon, everything is written in stone, if not sand. So that's how we started. And we very soon named our processor as Redefine. We very consciously named it as Redefine because we believe that we can redefine affines between software and hardware. So Redefine, to be short, is a software-driven hardware which can reconfigure itself at runtime.
Switching to Zoho projects, our customers say it's a breeze.
We did a lot of research for the first 15 to 20, I would say 10 to 12 years before we got into relationship with Safran Electronics from Paris. That gave us, even before that, we were engaged with Anurag, okay, to prove the concept, to prove what we had in mind. Safran came as a breakthrough for us in 2015 to 2020, wherein, they loved our processor and then said, okay, let's have simulation runs of the integrated modular avionics. Yes, sir? Yes. So they were looking at integrated modular avionics and they were interested in this. That sort of gave us an experience to polish our processor and get to the current version of Redefine. Then came COVID, but then good things happened during COVID for us. First was Sabha, the Semiconductor Fabless Acceleration Lab, which was Government of India and ISA initiative. We probably was the fortunate first to use free EDA tools. We were penniless. That really, made us go. Just take 1 foot off the ground. Then came blessings with mighty, both CTS and DLI. People have already talked the things that have happened through DLI directly. Indirectly, what it helped us is to make believe in the Indian investors, saying, okay, there is some company called Morphing Machines from India. Is it going to be a reality? Okay, they have the backing of Government India, Government of Karnataka and India. Let's put some money. That's how, we started to grow. How do I? No, sorry. So from a team of students, we were single digits till about 4 years back. But now we are very proud to say that we are a team of about 60 people and spread over 3 centers, 1 in Hyderabad and 2 in Bangalore. So we have teams of RTL, DV, verification, simulation, PD, product and system software teams. One of my colleagues, Harish, is from the software system. And anybody who is interested in a live demo, we have, since we could not carry our FPGA system, we have software simulation running on his laptop. We just walk in front of his laptop or ask him to turn the laptop and your face will be detected. So that's how it is. So let me just go through this. So we believe we are one of the first globally to have this indigenous No, we have a team waiting back in Bangalore to show actual live demo running on FPGA, but unfortunately the time is too short. But then this is software simulation. So I have already, I think, talked most of what is there in this slide, but I just want to point you to the fact that above 90% is all indigenous. Of course, PCIe, DDR, those are the things, that we are dependent on others. Others means outside India. Also, what we planned is, Redefine is a very scalable architecture. So we have a template. From the template, we can say, okay, do you want 16 cores for an edge AI? Or do you want a 1024 core for a data center? Since all our modules are unit, module, and integrated tested, we spin out, I say on the fly, but actually not on the fly, but from a template architecture, we can choose the modules. Since it's all completely tested, we build the architecture. Turnaround time is very, very low. That is one of the key things in the way we have architected. So our focus areas are going from edge AI to data centers, but this year we are concentrating on data center because we can't really run thin, We can say it's reconfigurable over several domains, but we need to focus on one, and that is the data centers. In particular, we are looking at something called fully homomorphic encryption, where the data in encrypted form can be analyzed. The downside of it is the computations blow up to 10 to 3 to 10 to 5. So what is the kind of architecture which can do it? We believe Redefine can do it. That's what we are currently exploring. We have a huge market within India and outside India. If I can ask Professor Nandi just to say the numbers, that will be. Yeah.
Thank you. We noticed that typically the market size annually is about 120 million in this kind of FHE-based encryption. And we are already in conversation with 3 banks, and we are looking for a joint POC with RBI, SEBI, ICICI, and HDFC. And we also have 2 consumer data centers who have confirmed interest, that is SIFI and NextGen.
टिंग टिंग, अम्मा मैसेज। मैं आपके मौसा के चाचा का नाती का पोता, शादी का कार्ड मैसेज में भेजा है, डाउनलोड करिए और आशीर्वाद दीजिए।
मैं तो आपको जानती भी नहीं, फिर भी शादी का कार्ड खोलूं? मैं मूर्ख नहीं हूँ।
क्या बात है अम्मा। यूपीआई कहता है अगर कोई अनजान नंबर से फाइल या लिंक भेजे तो क्लिक मत करो और कहो मैं मूर्ख नहीं। जाइए आप भी किसी का टेस्ट लीजिए।
Adonis.js apps finally have the perfect home. Galaxy is now the easiest, fastest, and most reliable way to host Adonis.js. Built by developers for developers. No other platform offers this high level of plug-and-play hosting for Adonis.js. SSL, scaling, and monitoring ready from day one. Move your Adonis.js app to Galaxy and see how simple hosting can be.
So it's not only the finance or the banking. All of us want to keep our bio data, the DNA data within ourselves. So it has huge impact on the healthcare analysis also. So the data goes as encrypted data to the analytics center. Analysis is done on encrypted data and the results are also sent back in the encrypted way. So that's what we are looking at. I don't want to press the wrong key, but sorry about it. Oh, what is that? Okay, sorry about it. Okay, so as we talk today, May is the time frame where we are going to get the first test chip out, and going forward, we are planning one next version of Redefine every year, with all the markets that I have just mentioned. And with DLI, I need to mention it here, we are about 50% through the journey of the whole, from design, implementation, testing, simulation to tape out. And May is the time frame we are looking at, rolling it out on a 28 nanometer TSMC. Going forward, it will be 12 or less than 12 nanometer, probably with Samsung, that we are in talk with Samsung. So we will be fully operational sometime in 27-28, and we want to really start getting global. Carve a niche for ourselves. GPUs are good in certain aspects, bad in certain aspects. CPUs, FPGAs, all have their market. We want Redefine also to carve a niche for itself in the global market. That's the vision we have going to 2030. So with that, I think I have much more exceeded in the time I was allocated. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Ranju ma'am. The next 2 applicants, DLI applicants, are working in a very, very critical and strategic area, and that is video surveillance. So let me first call Shashwat from Mindgrove Silicon. Mindgrove is based out of IITM, and they have been developing this solution for the last couple of months now. So please, Shashwat. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. So Mindgrove is a fabulous company out of IIT Madras, and we work on systems defined around the Shakti microprocessor, which was developed at IIT Madras. Our first chip, which you see here, is the secure IoT device. We call it S2401. I'm holding it here actually. This is the prototype chip, and we have gone to production, and we will be in the market with this chip in the next few months. This was done before DLI, so yeah. Thank you, sir. The second chip over here, this chip is ours. This module is also ours with other chips, which can be given as a pack to the customer to customize for the customer. Can you take it off? Yes, sir. That's very important. So the chip is ours. The module is also designed in at Mindgrove, and it was manufactured in India. This chip is designed, it's a high-performance microcontroller. It is designed to be very versatile. And the key thing over here, though, is that it has built-in security, and therefore it is very appropriate to be deployed in applications where security, on-the-fly encryption, and things like that are critical. We are certifying it so that our customers don't have to redo the effort later. So this chip was developed just before DLI was announced, so we did not apply for DLI for this. This is the Vision SoC. We initially conceptualized this as a single chip, but now it has become a family. And the first one over here, this is DLI supported. We are using both tools and financial support, sir. This one is being built right now and will be launched late 2006, early 2026, 2027, depending on timelines. It's under active development. And this is meant for CCTVs. And this is optimized for the lower end. Now, this is the second version of the chip, which is 2601, which is a quad-core version of the same thing. The quad-core is already working, but it will be put into a commercial chip after the single-core version that you saw in the previous slide. Sir? This is actually compared. The competitor over here, I did not put it over there, but is the one that you mentioned. The ISP and the video codec are internal IP. In fact, 80% of the IP on all three chips is Mindgrove IP or IIT Madras IP. So it's completely homegrown. So we had a discussion a little earlier about USB. The USB 2.0 that you see over here in this chip, that was the controller side of it was developed at Mindgrove using certain open source components. The PHY is still from outside, but the controller is ours. We hope that we will be able to move it into completely indigenous mode soon enough.
Choose Kotak 811. Account खोलना 3 minutes. FD, loans, debit card, credit card, सब smooth like Kotak 811 digital banking. FDs, loans, cards, mutual funds, सब मक्खन.
Get a metal debit card with Kotak 811.
In no other platform the GT simulated this much similar to NEET PG. Actually, the questions were very much similar.
Prep DNA is really a boon to every aspirant.
The revision is so amazing. It so basically it gives you the questions you did wrong till you get it correct. So it is an amazing way to improve.
Pre-PG app is amazing when it comes to the variety of questions it offers.
Just because they are offering it for free, don't underestimate the quality of the questions. They are exceptionally good.
So a couple of points about, I think I just want to reiterate the points that my fellow founders have made over here. The support was invaluable. This chip used so many tools from DLI to get it off the ground. We would not have had access to at least like 80-90% of them without DLI funding. And that just allows us to move much faster. It's not only a question of access, it's a question of speed. It's just allowed us to move much faster than we would have been able to otherwise. And time to market is probably the biggest thing that we have to solve at this point. The second thing is, I think the most important thing for us, my request right now is that all of us are at this crucial stage where we are proving our IP, proving our devices, just entering the market. My request is to stay the course so that we can actually prove what we set out to prove. I think it takes just this much time for us to get to this point. Thank you, sir.
I just want to make one small point here. The entire CCTV camera universe that we see, we all know that it's a big security risk for the country, it's a big security risk for all citizens and everybody. So that's why to de-risk it, it was very, very important to develop our own SOC for vision, and I really compliment Mindgrove team for doing that in such a short period of time to this level. The name that I took, competitor, so that's, I mean, that should be a target now. We should beat the competition that we did not like to mention the names, but we should be able to beat them in coming 5 to 6 months.
Thank you, sir. We have another DLI funded startup who is also developing the chips for video surveillance. So I invite Sunil from Big Indian Semiconductors.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I think we are the largest user of chip-in tools in the entire DLI program. I think we use the highest. We are ranked #1 on that part, largely because we wanted to accelerate the time to market of what we are doing in terms of commercializing our thought process. Where we are right now, we taped out our first SOC last year. It should come out into production, come out from the fab for a wafer out by March, April timeframe. We want to sample between April and June, July. Hopefully, we should be able to commercialize from July 2026 onwards. We are going specifically purpose-built SOC for, we call it vision solutions only, because when you look at consumer or enterprise vision solutions, it's largely to do with the ecosystem build-out rather than just a discrete solution. You need to have supply chain done, you need to have application layers done, you need to have system integrators who understand your stack well for them to build out solutions on top. So we have given enough emphasis on ecosystem build-out as much as the silicon build-out. So hopefully from April onwards, maybe we will be able to present you with a camera which can actually do certain aspects which we never thought it can. So that's what we are aiming out to do. Going forward, obviously, we are coming out with, sir?
Late shipments, lost inventory, broken promises, we know your pain. We're e-commerce founders, and we've been in your shoes. We've lived those challenges. That's why we built Value Fulfillment, an e-commerce fulfillment center built for e-commerce founders. This channel is where we share that journey, the lessons, the mistakes, everything that goes behind building a fulfillment center. If you run an e-commerce brand and care about your customer's experience, subscribe and follow our story.
There is this word that you see, MPW, for the media friends. So, as I said, when we designed the DLI program, the first thing we solved was EDA tools. Second thing that we solved was IP, core IP, and making CDAC as the repository for sovereign repository for core IP. Now, once you design a chip, if you want it to be taped out, how will you access the large fabs? They will not even listen to some startup, right? How do you secure that? So in our design of the program, we said that if there is any DLI startup which wants to tape out, we will support the MPW, which is multi-project wafer, which basically means the cost of taping out one chip or one set of chip is very, very high. And the opportunity cost for the fabs is very high. That's why they don't want to take from the startups and new concepts. They would like to do tape outs from big companies, Qualcomm, Intel, AMD. They would not like to do from the startups. So that's why we supported this cost also. So the three major factors why the DLI has succeeded. First is EDA tools. Second is providing the bank of IPs. Third is doing the MPW multi-project wafer tape out process. Thank you for bringing it up.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, for us, EDA tools are like infrastructure. It's like building a highway. If this is not there, I think the semiconductor dreams of several companies, I mean, everybody, I think, emphasized it. Hats off to CDAC for implementing it so beautifully, so professionally, so transparently. We've been troubling them a lot, but still we have been getting the support what we need, and that's a bloodline for us. So everybody was emphasizing on IPs and having self-reliance and control on what we're trying to do. Since we are a vision chip, all the critical IPs which are related to imaging and inferencing is what we are building out from now. The second chip which we are building and we're taping out in April, which is going to be an 8 TOPS chip, which is competing with the name which we don't want to take. That's the chip we're coming in with a power budget which is as competitive as or slightly better than that company, and building some features which are inside which will reduce the BOM cost somehow. So that's what we're aiming for. Otherwise, the current chip we have done taking off-the-shelf IPs because time to market was critical to prove to our investors, our supporters like DLI, MeitY, ISM, that is also as critical. The third vector in this, which we don't regard as much, is the ecosystem partners. When I mean ecosystem partners, which is OEM, system integrators, software build-outs, third-party software which will go and sit on it, and so on and so forth. So this is what we are chartering out to plan. The only request is, like everybody has said, please stay the course. Our actual burn is now, when we are taking from MPW to full mask. The full mask itself costs about 1.6, 1.9 million. That's where we bleed and burn a lot, sir. So if the honorable team is able to support us going forward, that will be a great help. As we speak, we're also trying to close out the next round of funding. Is about 80 crores is what we're raising. Hopefully, we'll be able to announce that as, and also in that raise, a lot of big hand is because of DLI and the chip-in tools. Thank you very much.
Switching to Zoho projects, our customers say it's a breeze.
मैसेज डियर इन्वेस्टर, एक एक्सपर्ट स्टॉक टिप खास आपके लिए। ये ऐप डाउनलोड करो और पैसे डबल करो।
एक्सपर्ट जी, बदमाश का बाप हूँ मैं। ऐप डाउनलोड करने से पहले मैं आपका पूरा रिपोर्ट कार्ड निकालूं। मैं मूर्ख नहीं हूँ।
डिस्टेंस यूपीआई कहता है अगर कोई ऐसी सलाह दे तो पहले एडवाइजर की पूरी जांच कर ले और कहे मैं मूर्ख नहीं। जाइए आप भी किसी का टेस्ट लीजिए।
Thank you, Sunil. So next we have Vijay Muktamath from Sensami. They are working on a healthcare SOC and they are also retargeting their solution for Edge AI.
Good morning, Honorable Minister. Pleasure meeting you. Imagine your health data goes back to Amazon server of a Bangalore person to tell him that, the insulin has to be taken or drug induced can happen at this point of time, right? So that requires a server either in India or external to India, right? And this is exactly what do we need it? Probably not. So this is where, the Edge AI chip with wireless connectivity. What is that wireless connectivity? A BLE should require not to send anything, but process locally. And this is where we are not just building an ordinary chip, but we are building the brains into connected devices, right? And that's where the whole intent of bringing the Edge AI compute is required. And that too at ultra low power technology. We are not at, a 28 nanometer or below. We are at 40 nanometer because the 60 to 70% of the strong analog front end is what is required for medical implants and the sensor fusion, right? And this is where Sensami is concentrating heavily to bring in the wireless connectivity as well as the brain into the chip itself. When I talk about brain, the way the accelerators are being built in today's world are all digital in nature. But where Sensami is trying to do unique is to bring analog compute, which reduces the power substantially. And this is where the neuromorphic engine comes into picture. And that's where Sensami is highly concentrating upon. But one other important factor is also the security, right? So that is very much required, be it your industrial IoT, be it your medical devices. And this is something which we need to have it on the chip, a secure data being on the chip as well as off the chip. And that's where Sensami is building the first indigenized, probably we would be the first AI-enabled BLE chip, right? So probably India's first BLE chip to be coming out of India this year from Sensami. So would like to announce, without DLI, this wouldn't have happened. And this is as recent as last week. So we got really funded with 25 crores from lead investor like Piper Serica, which are getting into deep tech. This is very important from the investors' point of view as well. And that's where, DLI has really helped it. And of course, funds will be utilized for a couple of test chips. Sir, definitely the analog front end takes 2.5 years to develop. And this is where we are going to be there. And the patient capital is required. More investors have to come into picture. One other point I want to highlight, sir, since you talked about, analog RF, right? So that's the premium part of Indian ecosystem which has to be brought in, not for India, but for the world. Why? Because we have seen that there is back tunneling of data through Wi-Fi as well as BLE now, right? And this trust has to be brought from India to the world. And that's where Sensami is going to concentrate upon. And we also talked about, analog IPs, which is important. Sir, I would request, if Tata is coming up with its fab, right? Why can't we have at least the IPs of analog to be brought down into that? As Jyotish said, the different technologies are there, right? But at least we should begin somewhere, right? And Tata would be the best place where we can build our SerDes, we can build our own RF components as well. And this is something which a request I would like to make to DLI as part of it. And definitely, I think just to give another 30 seconds, I was part of the Bionic Eye project in Australia way back in 2011, built a retinal implant chip. In India, or in the world, there are only two countries which were doing that. One is US, the other was in Australia, and I was part of that group. So the implantable chips do require Edge AI compute, and now this is the era from India to develop all these medical implants, the core industrial IoT as well. Thank you, sir.
शेरू शेरू यहाँ आओ, इधर आओ बच्चा। रुको अभी आया। शाबाश शेरू, आओ बैठो। चलो घर चलते हैं। अरे ये कहाँ जा रहा है? शेरू शेरू क्या हो गया तुम्हें? क्या कर रहे हो तुम? शेरू कहाँ जा रहे हो? वापस आओ। बैड डॉगी। हाँ तो हम कहाँ थे?
नटखट कहीं के।
Red Bull gives you wings.
Time you make the next announcement, a small request to all the startups and professors and others present here. All of you have this paper. Please use this. Write your name, write your phone number on it, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever asks you have for the DLI 2.0. Because we are in the process of framing it. Also, what you don't want us to do. Do's and don'ts. Mistakes that we should avoid and things that you want. I'll personally study all of them. So please write and give it before we go for lunch. No lunch without that. Assignment.
So next I invite Arumugam Govindaswamiji from Mbit Wireless. So they are based out of Chennai and they are developing a dual stack chip for Mbit for narrowband IoT and Cat 1 business.
So good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. So we are a fabulous. Okay. We are a fabulous semiconductor company. Before getting to DLA project, let me give an overview of our company. We are developing a full stack 4G, 5G solution. We are one of the only 4 companies in the world advancing the 4G, 5G stack. So we developed the complete foundational IP, which includes the modem technology, the signal processing, the analog component, the power management component, entire stack. And our stack is fully certified by GCF. GCF is a global certification forum, which is essential for make sure that the product is certified so that you are safe for the network, as well as the operators will have a confidence that your solution can get into the network. Our technology is covered by about 150 patents, more than 150 patents. Out of that, 104 patents are granted and 50 in the pipeline. So this entire technology, which is the baseband, the RF, the power management, the signal processing stack, completely indigenously developed in India. So based on this technology, we created 2 separate platforms. One, an IoT platform, which is primarily targeted for low-cost mass market volume product, which is fine-tuned for a 22-nanometer process node. The other stack, which is primarily targeted for the mobile broadband application like smartphone SoCs, fixed wireless access. So that's tailored for 5-nanometer chip design. So today, with this, India has a full end-to-end stack for critical communication, which is basically the 4G, 5G network. And this technology, it's basically based on the packet-driven networks, and which is the future of 6G as well. 6G is nothing but the augmentation of 5G. So this entire technology developed with a tremendous effort by the team to accomplish that. The market access for this technology today is over $100 billion US, and the lead competition in this space estimating this market to grow over $700 billion over the next year, which is annual market access. So that's a deep and scale of this technology. So based on the 2 platforms we created, which is an IoT platform as well as a mobile broadband platform. The IoT platform is the first chip, which is basically DLA approved project with great support from MeitY, DLA team and CDAC team. We were able to make this product, take the essential IPs we developed and transform into the first commercial silicon. So the dominant cellular technology going for IoT, which is a Cat 1 bis with fallback narrowband IoT, if there is when the narrowband evolves. So The market access is going to evolve over 450 million units per year globally. That can transform roughly about a couple of $1 billion revenue per chip. So the entire stack has a transformation of over $700 billion over the next decade. Right? So this stack today, currently as we speak, we're field testing in all four major networks, Jio, Airtel, Vodafone Idea, and BSNL. And so again, this stack is certified stack. So we can go and do field test in the live network today. So we are working with major 2 top-tier customers in India. We also have an agreement done for South Korea and Japan for this technology. So this is not specific to India as well, built in India for the world, which is compliant to the, since once you get certification GCF, with covered by more than 150 patents. So that's sort of, now we are at one of the leading, we can compete with the leading firms. As we know, there are only 3 companies out there outside India. We are the 4th company to build the entire stack here. So as the next step, we are plan to commercialize this technology as well as take the foundation IP, deliver the complete SoC, the 5G SoC, from baseband modem to power management signal processing and the application processing to that. So we have the entire stack built in. Now, as a roadmap, we can take one technology at a time. So we do have the POC today. I can basically show it to you. The entire mobile smartphone POC. Today we can make phone calls to all four major networks today in India, right? Maybe I can ask Palvin to come and share the POC, the phone POC today, develop. Yes. No.
Is it okay now? Yes. Out. So let me start.
Adonis.js apps finally have the perfect home. Galaxy is now the easiest, fastest, and most reliable way to host Adonis.js, built by developers for developers. No other platform offers this high level of plug-and-play hosting for Adonis.js. SSL, scaling, and monitoring ready from day one. Move your Adonis.js app to Galaxy and see how simple hosting can be.
Sir, we are from the team of the engineers who created the first sentence code. This is the first one.
This is the entire solution like this. Way back. So we understand the system now, we understand the complete from that thing. So this is the entire code stack because of this chemical sample. When does this come forward? With support, we can do that. We can create this one billion because we are still very well informed.
So the chips that the team showed are basically the chips which make the mobile phone. Entire chipset which is required, 4G, 5G, chipset required in a mobile phone is what is demonstrated today. And this is the team which had designed mobile phone chips way back. So this is a team which understands mobile phones. And 24 months is the target. You are saying that we can have our own mobile phone chipset, right?
Because we made the foundation like the stack is certified and our
Super. Let's work on it. Super.
Thank you, sir. May I now invite CEO of Moschip, Srinivas Kakumamiji. Moschip is developing a SOC for smart power metering.
Thank you, Vivek. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to Minister Ji. I'm very, very excited to be here, and this is Ashwin very excited to be here to be interacting with all of you. Before I talk about the project we are doing under DLI, let me give a brief overview about what Moschip is. So, I mean, a lot of companies that are actually representing here, they're all startups, funded startups. And Moschip has been around for 26 years. And the company was founded in 1999. And we were a fabless semicon company. And we were actually producing I/O connectivity chips for a global market in the initial 7 to 8 years. And over the last few years, we've been providing silicon engineering and product engineering services to customers globally. And in fact, we were involved in more than 600 tape outs over the last 26 years. And we worked on designs that actually went into, that were done in 180 nanometer all the way down to 2 nanometer. And as part of silicon engineering services, we've been working on turnkey ASICs, where we take the responsibility of, maybe customer actually gives us a specification or a design, and we hand over silicon back to the customer. And because, we have product engineering services also, we basically support our customers on the embedded software, system design, and so on and so forth. And one more important aspect that I wanted to talk about is the learning and development center that we've been actually promoting. And over the last 15 years or so, we were able to train more than 3,000 semiconductor professionals, which are actually part of either Moschip or companies in India and abroad.
टिंग टिंग अम्मा मैसेज मैं आपके मौसा के चाचा का नाती का पोता, शादी का कार्ड मैसेज में भेजा है, डाउनलोड करिए और आशीर्वाद दीजिए।
मैं तो आपको जानती भी नहीं, फिर भी शादी का कार्ड खोलूं? मैं मूर्ख नहीं हूँ।
क्या बात है अम्मा। यूपीआई कहता है अगर कोई अनजान नंबर से फाइल या लिंक भेजे तो क्लिक मत करो और कहो मैं मूर्ख नहीं। जाइए आप भी किसी का टेस्ट लीजिए।
And again, as part of turnkey ASICs, we've been delivering silicon to customers. There are, two projects that I wanted to bring to your notice. There is a GDB ASIC, GNSS, a digital baseband ASIC that we did for SAC very recently.
This was done in 28 nanometer technology. I mean, TSMC 28 nanometer HPC plus. Jairam, you can probably show it to Ashwini ji. So this silicon was actually delivered to SAT, and this is first pass silicon success, and it is fully functional. And just to give you an idea about this design, it has about 500 million transistors.
500
Million transistors.
This is small. This is the size of a nail. 500 million is 50 crore.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
50 crore devices inside. This is the power of semiconductors. This is a small chip designed by our team here, MOSCHIP team. This is the size of a thumbnail, and it has 50 crore devices inside it. 50 crore devices. Right? Great work.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. And this basically goes into navigation receiver systems. And apart from SAT, we are very, very honored to have gotten an opportunity to work on our indigenous high performance computing processor, SOC, which is OM processor that we are doing for CDAC. And we will probably get an opportunity to discuss about this project maybe at a later point in time. So these are two projects of national importance that I wanted to talk about as we are meeting here. And coming to the smart energy meter IC, and we call it Vision, that we are doing under DLI scheme. I mean, again, as I said, MOSCHIP was a product company, and even though we've been doing design services, we wanted to do a product, and we wanted to be part of a product building nation, and we have taken up building smart energy meter IC, and some of our colleagues were actually talking about the difficulty in building analog IP, right? I mean, smart energy meter IC has 6 important analog IPs, and hence, what we wanted to do was, we wanted to do test chips, right, for analog IPs. And we did tape out 2 test chips in TSMC 180 nanometer, and VTC1 had 4 IPs, and VTC2, the test chip 2, has about 2 IPs. And the VTC1 IP validation, we actually completed, and we are doing characterization at this point in time. And VTC2 has actually arrived just now, and we are going to validate the ADCs that we actually built. And on the digital portion of the chip is being validated on the FPGA platform, and with the entire software and the DLMS stack. And we are planning to take this out in May this year. And also to make it completely indigenous, we have developed both the digital IP and analog IP in-house. And the processor core that we are actually using on Vijay is from Incore. In fact, our team is working with Neil and others from Incore. So that way, the chip is entirely, the IP is entirely designed, indigenously. But the initial chips, we are planning to get them done by TSMC. But because this is 180 nanometer, we are also running a parallel thread where we would like to actually get Vijit done in SCL. In fact, VTC1 and VTC2, those 2 chips, even though they were fabricated in TSMC 180 nanometer, we got the packaging done by SCL. Jairam, can you show them to question? So, yeah, the plan is to basically design this chip indigenously and hopefully get it manufactured by SCL in 180 nanometer and take it into production. And once again, I mean, thank you so much for the opportunity. And I'm very, very honored to be here and presenting what we are actually doing in front of you. Thank you so much.
How was your experience of taping out at SCL Mohali?
The interaction, the engineering interaction and the PDK support and all that was pretty good, sir. And the turnaround time is basically longer than what we have actually experienced at TSMC. And we also know they were basically limited by capacity, and they also ran into etching machine issues and so on and so forth. In fact, VTC1, the first chip that we did for TSMC, the same chip to validate 4 IPs, we taped out to SCL. And as we speak, those chips are being shipped to Moschip. Yeah, right.
So, there is a very important point made here. If you design the chips and after that, how do you tape them out? One of the factors that we considered was MPW, as I explained. Now, as we go forward, as the semiconductor ecosystem is building up in our country, and as we become a product nation, as Moschip has been providing system services, but now Moschip is becoming a product company, right?
Yeah.
From services company, you are also becoming a product company. Now, to be there, we need tape out facilities within the country where preference is given to startups in a big way. So that's why we are taking 2 steps. Apart from the MPW, which is there, in addition to that, we are taking 2 more steps. First step is we are upgrading SCL Mohali in a big way by investing about 4,500 crore rupees in it. 4,500 crore rupees we will be investing in SCL Mohali, and SCL Mohali will become the, in a sense, lab for entire semiconductor ecosystem in the country. So any startup who wants to design and validate the chip, tape it out, they'll have this facility available to them as a government facility so that our startups get a very good tape out physical production facility in the country. Also for the students. So this will be at a node which is a very well used node, but a legacy node. The second facility which will be used for taping out, that will be Tata's Dholera fab. So the Dholera fab, 28 nanometer to 90 nanometer, and SCL 180 nanometer. So in a sense, close to 80% of the chips which are manufactured in the world, or maybe 75%, 75 to 80% of the chips which are manufactured in the world, that entire ecosystem we will be able to build in our country within next 2 to 3 years. And the path beyond that is also very clearly visible, which I'll share with you in the closing remarks.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Before I invite Vinayak Dalmia from Third iTech and DB2JS for the next presentation, I have a small request to make to all the presenters. Kindly be precise and short. We are already behind schedule, and there are still many applicants to present. So Third iTech, or DB2JS as they are known, is working on development of another key critical component in the surveillance market, which is the image sensors. Use this, or you can use this, right? Or you use this.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you to the Honorable Minister, to DLI, and to the entire leadership at MIT for making this possible. I think, Sir Minister, sir, you spoke about the value of the tools. So I have, in our company now, we have almost 100 designers and a global presence. When I talk to my American teams, they are amazed that the tools are provided by the government, because in their country that is unheard of. And if we didn't get those tools, the cost per year just skyrockets. So that is, thank you so much for that support, sir. So you made a